Hey, Planeswalkers, Mythras here. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. Welcome, my friends, to today's episode of Top Deck, where we are covering a Selesnya Magecraft deck. So we've ran a couple different versions of this. Happy to be taking a look at this one in particular because we got a lot of things going on and very excited to be showcasing it here today. Now, this is a Platinum to Mythic 6+ win deck. I've procured the sideboard for us for best of 3 and looking forward to covering that here in a minute. So flip me a like if you enjoyed today's video. On top of that, if you have questions, if you have comments, let me know down below. Would love to hear from you. Also, down in the description, you will find the Discord server information and the timestamps where we will cover the strategy objective of this list. We'll cover that sideboard for you for best of 3. We'll play that competitive Magic here for you in both best of 1 and best of 3 here today. And then we'll talk about where this might fit in the meta, my friends. So really looking forward to it and excited to get us going here today with our Selesnya Magecraft deck. So last but not least, other great ways to support the channel down below. Thank you to everyone's support as always. So here's what we got going on. Selesnya Magecraft. So the big kicker on this deck, if you haven't ran into it yet, is Magecraft. So whenever we cast or copy an instant or a sorcery spell, something is going to happen, or a trigger. In this case, we're going to get a +1/+1 counter on Dragon's Guard Elite. For 6, we can double the number of 1/1s on this creature, which is great. Additionally, here we got Leonin, Light Scribe, and our lovely clever Luminancer. So ideally, we have a lot of things going on. What I like in this is we do have some small adventure shell with Edgewell here and Lovestruck Beast, and on top of that, we have Clarion Spirit, and we also have the good old Fairy Godmother here as well in terms of adventure. So lots of things happening here. This was primarily a best of 1 deck. I've turned it into a best of 3 and really looking forward to what we have going on here with this one. So with that said, strategy objective of this list, it is pretty fast. Ideally, you want to be taking your opponent down turn 4, turn 5, if you can. So it's really aggro-y. So really looking forward to the explosiveness of this one here today for you. Now let's go ahead and cover off on our best of 3 sideboarding here, and we'll break it down for you in terms of aggro, mid-range, and late game. But before we do, let's look at what we got going on, the learn lesson mechanic here. A few different things that we could do. You could always pull in the 7-drop if you want to as well. The mascot isn't a bad one that you could throw in here if you'd like to, but this is the board from the deck from the Platinum to Mythic 6+ wins, so we went with that. Now in terms of aggro, we break it down by things like mono red, mono white, Boros, Boros Winata, Naya Winata, Gruul Magda, those kinds of things. Here what you're going to want to really focus on, potentially Light of Hope, where if you need to gain that life back fast, but we do have lots of creatures, otherwise the +1/+1 counter can help, or destroy target enchantment. A lot of people forget about that against things like Annex and stuff. Additionally here, you could always go Heroic Intervention, so this is going to give your creatures indestructible, and that can line up really nicely on a block kind of deal as well. So those are some options for you. What you could think about in terms of moving things around here, you could certainly go a little bit lighter on things like Vastwood. We do have a host of lands that's, well, not really a host of lands at 16, so it's pretty aggressive in terms of lands. So we got 20 there. You may want to consider something like Charge Through, even though this is good to get you over the top. You could go Snakeskin Veil. In this case, they're not necessarily going to have a lot of direct, but again, you get that +1/+1 counter on target creature, which essentially is better than a Light Hope. But again, this gives you some interaction against your opponents there, ideally. So a couple of ideas for you in terms of moving things around. Then we get to the mid-range. Again, the Winata decks can represent that. We got the Naya space here, token decks, also Magda Gruul, some of the Gruul aggro stuff. We also have our Dragons decks. Izzet Dragons, traditional Izzet Tempo. Here we have mono blue control, or blue tempo, snow control kind of deal. Also in this space, you're going to run into all the sacrifice decks. We've covered a few of those. Rogues yesterday, Rakdos Rogues, that you can check out. That was pretty sweet. A lot of you really like that deck. Also here we have traditional Rakdos Sacrifice, we got Jund Sacrifice, Golgari, and Mardu. A host of things. We got Pests and Witherbloom here as well. What you're going to want to think about again is if they're running some of those things like Bastion, Light of Hope is going to help you get that off the board. We have Heroic Intervention if you need to, in terms of they're trying to steal your creatures or things like that. That gives you an out or something to consider there as well. Now, again, we want to talk about rogues because we're starting to see a few more of those again. Chainweb Arachner is a good one for you in that space. Then as we get to late game is going to be decks like the Ultimatum decks. We got Team Returns, Team Ultimatum. We got Sultai, Sultai Ultimatum, Sultai Emergent. Also, we got the 4-color Doom decks all the way down to 2-color Orzhov, and a host of control, Dimir, Azorus Blank. We also have our lovely Sultai in there as well. Here you can think again of Light of Hope. Additionally, Snakeskin Veil, potentially Heroic Intervention if they're playing more of a Azorus. This one's good. If they got Exile, totally different ballgame. Not much we're going to be able to do, so we got to really speed and take our opponents down there at the top end. What we could look to move out again are things like Love Struck. If you wanted to, you could go a little bit lighter on some of these other things that we talked about. Guiding Voice could be something where you might not need as many there to kind of think through. The cantrips nice and the charge through as well. So with that, Planeswalkers, that is how we break it down in terms of aggro, mid-range, and late game. We covered the strategy objective of the stack. Selesnya Magecraft, again, supposed to be explosive. Obviously, it's going to be very dependent on a few things like any other deck, but really looking forward to playing this here today. Again, Platinum to Mythic 6+ win. So let's go ahead and we'll dive into it here and we'll see how it goes. Really looking forward to this one because I do enjoy our Magecraft decks. Just quickly here, turbo drafts going on. We do have 2 days left of this, probably one when they post this. I do have a nice turbo draft strategy guide for you for Ikoria that you can check out as well. So no, that was not planned. Let's go to our Rakdos Rogues deck, really Selesnya Magecraft here that we're checking out. We'll get moving in terms of our best of one, my friends. All right, Bryce, it is. We are so close to hitting Mythic. We got a few slow rollers here that we'll need to decide on. We can try it. It's gonna be a little slow, even though we have a lot of stuff at 1. And our opponent could be or aggro-y, so we'll see. We'll stick with what we have here. Give it a shot. Now, we probably actually want to play this first, depending on what we have. All right, so Selesnya as well. We could play this. Let's do this one first. Ooh, Spirit versus Spirits. They're going to get Spirit. It's certainly what's going to happen. We need another white. That is going to really hurt us here. All right, we're gonna have to fly through real fast here. So we have an opportunity. Ooh, real good. So what we need to do is we'll do this. Let's see if they trade. So again, if we can get one here. One planes will give us a ton. We're going to be in a predicament here because if we would have had our flyer, we actually probably would have been okay. They have lethal right now. This is not an instant speed spell. So ultimately, they will have plenty to go over the top with if they want. So we have lethal, but they got 3 guys. So I can block everything. So that's how that deck works. We did get to see quite a bit. We got hosed on the mana. It is very, very tight on the mana. And then additionally, we did not hit... if we would have evaded the Bone Crusher, we actually would have been pretty good. Because we would have got a bunch of those little 1/1s ourselves, which allowed us to compete with this deck a little bit more. Not bad. And we were on the turn, not the play. Without a turn 1. Alright, there we go. Fallen back. Alright, let's see what we can do. On to our next best of 1 here with Selesnya Magecraft. Grr, I'm buff is up. Let's go up there. Again, problems. We'll keep this though. Problems on the mana base. Let's get rid of that one. Missing the land drop hurts real bad again. There we go. Probably should have played. We're going to play this one first. As I say, probably should have played that first. Okay, there we go. so we can go Leonin into Leonin. That's fine. Oh, again, such pain. There we go. So the fact that we lost our Light Scribe again, it's a horrible matchup for this deck too. All right, let's go on. Boom, best of one. Brah. Going backwards. Let's see if we can hang in here, my friends. 0-2 in best of one. So every one of our opponents has had something that's interacted with our deck. So that is a huge problem. We haven't hit any late game stuff either. So Cerobim. There we go first here. Now we get a late game deck. We do have Snakeskin. I don't think this is going to be... We'll have a direct kill here. And then we'll be out our Luminancer. So we could have slow rolled our Snakeskin. Ooh, alright. We're good. We got through one thing then. Do we need the double whites? We can double white it. Ooh, we should have went green actually. Should have went the green, because then that would have gave us Snakeskin Veil. That'd protect us from a direct kill. Here they have enough to do exile. They didn't do it though, so we're okay. Alright, so as long as they don't hit Shadow's Verdict now. They hit Shadow's Verdict. Otherwise, we're going to be close to lethal here. Because we can pump twice. It's all going to depend on the play here. We can live with the Cultivate. right, so we got a few things we can do. Let's go here. We got plenty of protection. So we should be able to make this home. There we go. And for 2, we're going to want to do this. We're good. Plenty of lethal. There we go. We got through. Late game deck. Taking on Sultai Ultimatum. So again, lucky that they didn't have anything that interacted with us, but nonetheless, not bad. Let's go ahead. We're going to play our best of 3 traditional set ranked. Again, yesterday we did the Rakdos Rogues. Today we're doing our Selesnya Magecraft deck here. Very fast matches. Fast matches. It's kind of a do or bust. Fast kill or bust. Lovely. We are not first. It's gonna be an issue for us, I think. So we have a late game deck. We need a land. There we go. So Shadow's Verdict destroys us. Will absolutely destroy us. Ooh. Gonna want another green. All right, kept him on the board. All right, here we go. So Fairy Godmother. So this will be big for us. Let's see what we do here. So this will pump 2, 4. That's a huge pump. If we do that. Oh, we were actually 1 light, but we got through, which is good. So here's what we need. We need to get our other Snakeskin Veil in. Let's go 1 less in Guiding Voice. Let's give that a shot. Heroic Intervention's not going to help as much. And it's not going to help as much because they got Exile. So even though they have direct kills, they're going to be going for Shadow's Verdict on this now. Oof, explosive in that first one there. And we weren't on the play, which is nice. Lovely it is. So when we've had the mana, it hasn't been that bad. This is a huge issue, this one. There we go, this is better. Drop one. Ooh. Yeah, they're gonna go to kill everything right away. It's fine. No green. Notice that. They didn't hit any green. So that's big for us. All right, Snakeskin Veil to keep them on the board. Oh, did we get lucky? I don't know. We're not done yet. Game's not over. Let's get the draw going. Four, five, six, seven, not enough. Look at that. We came back. Woo, 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 woo. Very fast. Magecraft deck day to day. And ultimately we move forward. So good against late game decks. And we closed out everything here. Perfect. Look at that. All right. Let's go ahead. We'll look at today's deck. That is one of the things about these Magecraft ones is they still are very, very fast. So here's what we got going on. Selesnya Magecraft. This again was a Platinum to Mythic 6+ win deck. Certainly has been popular in the past. Best of 1, we went 1-2. Best of 3, we did go 2-0 against a Ultimatum deck or Sultai Ultimatum deck. So not bad. Where do I think this is in the meta? Best of 1, I mean, you saw it get crushed pretty badly. Best of 3, we did okay. Honestly, I would say maybe bottom at tier 2, top at tier 3 for both best of 1 and best of 3. There's just a lot of interaction, a lot of things that can really pull this out of control really quickly. However, it is certainly very, very explosive, like we saw, which is pretty important to keep an eye on with that. So Planeswalkers, that's what we got going on. Selesnya Magecraft today. It was a quick. We're right there in the hunt for Mythic, so we'll see if we make it. I'm not too worried about it, but we'll see how it goes. But with that said, Planeswalkers, flip me a like if you enjoyed today's video, if you like the deck, if you like the interaction, all the Magecraft stuff, which is great from Strixhaven. Do so. On top of that, again, feel free to hop on the Discord server. That is in the details. The deck list is down there too, by the way. I forgot to mention that. Other great ways to support the channel down below. If you have questions, if you have comments, let me know. Would love to hear. And we'll see you again soon. We got a lot more things coming your way. Tier list coming, I promise. For June here, it's getting tight, but we'll get it done. And then on top of that, we have more top decks for standard, historic. We got jank coming. We got all sorts of stuff. Friday Night Magic, if you check that out, and a whole host of other cool things here as we move into the next set. So with that, Planeswalkers, we'll see you again soon. Until then, stay safe, and Mythras out.